Well, hi everyone, it's Pete here for the Pain Toolkit on a very autumny
Mhm.
Sunday afternoon. And as you can see, I'm with my good buddy over there in British Columbia, Keith. Good afternoon to you, Keith, or good morning, I should say.
Yeah, still morning here, and it's a bit of a typical fall day here in Western Canada as well. Mhm.
Okay. Hey, see, listen, so we'll quit, quit our day jobs as weather forecasters.
Yeah.
Um, Hey, listen, we've just been chatting about about we've got the conference coming up in February
hmm
with Pain Support Self Management Conference. But but Keith, I thought it'd be useful to do a video
hmm
about something I read on LinkedIn this morning,
hmm
where someone asked about is should persistent pain be seen as a long-term condition? And I thought, I know I was going up with you this afternoon. I thought I wanted to get your take on it. And I mean, to me, that's pretty much old news, like, because I've always seen persistent pain is a long-term condition, like, But
hmm
what's your take on it?
Well, yeah, I'm with you, and I think persistent pain, or as it's often called in the healthcare system, chronic pain. Right there, that tells us, chronic. It is it is a long-term condition.
Yeah,
And I think it's important to have these conversations, especially because when we look at other health conditions, um, there's no debate about whether it's long term. You have diabetes. Well, that's a chronic health condition. They don't call it chronic diabetes. They just say it's diabetes. So why didn't we need to chop it up a little bit with pain? But we do.
mm,
But I mean, chronic pain is a long-term health condition. And as such, it needs to be recognized and managed that way. It's pretty much a no-brainer to me that pain is a long-term condition.
yeah. I know I can't remember, donkeys years ago, they said that if you've had pain for longer than 3 months, it's
hmm
persistent, isn't it? It's ceased to become an acute problem. It's
Yeah.
become a persistent pain problem.
hmm
And but I think I always see persistent pain as being like I was when I was saying it, it was always seen as the bridesmaid and never the bride in healthcare. Like,
hmm Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
because I don't you don't say, oh, someone has died from pain and whatever, but I know people have sort of harmed themselves, from because
Yeah.
of had pain, etc.
Yeah.
Um, the thing is, I was assuming of late, really, I'm thinking that um, persistent pain just needs to be tackled. I mean, let's go back to the roots of it, really. I asked now on their website, they're saying, people should be practicing doing supportive self-management from the get-go, like,
hmm
or seeing
Yeah.
physicians and healthcare professionals, etc. And uh, and also, I mean, I think what's the other one about? Well, my thinking is as well. Um, a lot of healthcare professionals say they'd like to do it, but they've never been taught it while they was in med school.
hmm
What do I do about it? And that was the reason why we started up the Pain Toolkit Academy last year. But also, I've been thinking of late that they need to be paid for it as well, like, because it's
Yes.
the time restraints. And
hmm
I think I said on the Pain Toolkit conversation on Friday night, there's something here called a quaff mark, and they use it for smoking cessation. Like, so if you're a smoker, you can go and see perhaps a pharmacist or a healthcare professional, and they coach you about quitting smoking. So,
hmm
and they get paid for doing that.
Yeah.
The doctors here, they all get paid via the Croft mark to take your blood pressure, etc., because it's a way of preventing it's getting in earlier, like, so
Hmm.
rather than
Yep.
waiting before someone has a stroke, but because their blood pressure's bonkers,
Hmm.
So, I'm up for that. People get, healthcare coaches or wherever they're pharmacists, etc., wherever they to get paid to do that. I mean, what do you know what's it like over there in Canada?
Well, we face the same problems that it's still not viewed as something that needs to be invested in the long term. And your example of supporting people to stop smoking, what that has shown is that you invest in those systems and those products today, and over the long run, it saves money on the healthcare system because those people don't impact healthcare with issues that will come up further down the road due to their smoking.
Mm, mm,
It is my strongest, deepest belief that that occurs if you invest in supported self-management
yeah,
today. You'll see that return down the road where people, um, require less visits to their family physician, don't wind up in emergency rooms, which are terrible places to go, but sometimes the only choice that they have. There's all of these benefits that occur down the road, and we're not talking years. Like those benefits can happen sometimes within months. You invest in it now because it is a long-term condition. People carry this pain with them often for the rest of their lives. So if you can properly support it, sooner than later, healthcare will see a cost savings. And if nothing else,
mm, mm,
let's talk about the savings to the healthcare system. But what's more important is that it improves people's quality of life. And that gets lost in the noise of bureaucracy and policymakers. We're
yeah.
improving people's lives, and at the same time, you can save money doing it.
Yeah, I know they're expensive. I always remember talking to a GP years ago, and I just actually said, I said, he just laughed at me. He said, I asked him, I said, how many patients do you see a day living with long-term pain? And he sat back in his chair and just laughed at me. He said, they're all
Mhm.
every other one.
Well, right. I mean, we know the stats say 1 in 5 worldwide. It's probably higher than that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I can't back that up with any stat, but it's at least 1 in 5 around the world. That means people who live with long-term pain, that that illness, because it's an illness,
Yeah.
the World Health Organization has identified it, chronic pain, as a disease unto its own. That disease is greater than the sum of many other long-term health conditions combined.
Yeah.
So if we start to effectively invest in it today by supporting people, it's a huge return on that investment.
Mm,
And again, I sound like a broken drum. I mean, yes, there's a financial return, but more importantly, it's the return on people's lives. They get to live a better life.
yeah. I know when I was working in the NHS years ago, the commissioners used to tell me that what it, because of, pain and long-term conditions really, but their main, the commissioners indicating were that what they want the commission in for patients with long-term conditions. Well, what you doing? Will it reduce GP visits,
Hmm.
accident emergency, or in your case over there, ER visits,
Hmm.
medication, reduce medication usage?
Hmm.
They seem to be, or the other one as well, getting people back to work, etc.
Hmm. Yeah.
They seem to be the main things for the decision makers. Like, I mean,
Hmm.
what's your think? I mean, do you think the decision makers really actually understand the benefits of supportive self-management?
Not in that context. And I don't think it's been presented in a way, and with all respect to those that are in those positions, they're dealing with so much. They haven't had it presented to them, I don't think, enough anyway, in a way that is that simple short form. When you support people with long-term pain, here's that here are the benefits to it. They will reduce GP visits. They will all of those things that you talked about, which is an incredible cost savings to healthcare systems which are overburdened, and it gets people back living again. So this is what we need to keep promoting and talking about, and finding ways to assist the policymakers and those that control the funding for healthcare systems to say that if you invest $1 today in supported self-management, that dollar will be returned to the system probably 3 to 4 times, over the life of that person. And
yeah,
from a guy who was in business for many years, that's a huge return on investment.
yeah,
But I will never, never stop pounding the drum about
yeah,
the impact that it has on people's lives. It improves their quality of life
yeah,
dramatically.
yeah.
Yeah.
So long-term conditions. Well, just to sign off on a good note, as you know, we're both. There's a new website going to be coming around soon called Self-Management Toolkit,
Hmm.
where it'll be where you and me working on long-term conditions, so we can, don't get sort of just focused on, well, pain can be included. So we're looking at the bigger picture now, like,
Yep.
as pain being a long-term condition, but we can also support people with long-term conditions. As you know, well, people probably watching this or hearing this that will know that we both live with multiple uh,
Hmm.
long-term conditions, etc. Won't go into them now, but so I think supportive self-management can help loads of people, millions of people
Hmm. Yep.
around the world with long-term conditions. So we're looking forward to that. That's website will be going live, hopefully before the end of the year or earlier part of next year.
Excellent.
And don't forget, guys, that we got the Pain Supported Self Management Week coming up in February. So we're going to be doing some exciting stuff around that. But anything else I forgot before we sign off?
I think you hit it all there. Just watch the
What's the
toolkit
space?
space for all the things that are coming out,
Yeah,
and really excited to to work with you on this shift
yeah,
where we look at supportive self-management for all long-term health
yeah,
conditions, including pain, which
yeah,
pain is a long-term
yeah.
health condition. Mhm.
Copy that, brother.
All right. Mhm.
Okay. Thanks
All
everyone
right.
for watching
Thanks,
or listening.
everyone.
Take care. Bye.
All
See you
right. See
soon.
you.
Ciao. Bye.
Bye.